It is Sunday sit-down time. With me now are two very special guests. We have Sophie and Lindsey Cunningham, former Mizzou basketball players who've just been spending the last few months over in Australia. So welcome back to the United States.
Thank you. We're super excited to be home. We knew we missed home, but being back and being around the community, being around the people, it's like, dang, we really missed home.
Yeah, we definitely enjoyed our time there, and it was sad to leave, but showing up back in Columbia, Missouri has felt really, really good.
So we have to begin with kind of, what's been taking over the sports world with COVID-19. Sophie, first off, the WNBA, have you been in any contact with the Mercury? Are they giving you any guidance about the season or anything?
There's been a few emails floating around, and I actually got one this morning, and they're going to make some major decisions because a lot of WNBA people have to go overseas to, make more money, and so a lot of people are actually trapped over there, and it's in those countries that they might bring it back. So still up in the air. I would love to spend a little more time here in Columbia, Missouri, so I wouldn't be mad, but also need to, go to work and get paid. So we'll see.
Lindsey, any differences over there versus the United States? I know things are rapidly changing, but just with everyday life?
Yeah, in regards to
the COVID-19?
Yeah, so it was definitely talked about, and obviously I think even just the last couple of days we've seen in the sports world just the way that it's taken over, but we were still kind of there. There was just a couple cases confirmed while we were there in Australia. I think our biggest concern was traveling home and making sure that we took all precautions necessary. We had our Clorox wipes wiping down our plane, every plane we got on, so you can tell the airports are definitely taking precaution with all of that, but it's definitely nothing to mess with, I guess. So.
Well, the Mizzou women's basketball team didn't make the NCAA tournament this year, but you guys know what that's like to go there. If you were a player, what would you be thinking?
I got some praise, a little bit of backlash about my tweet because honestly, the sports world, it's the fans make the environment, and it brings you to a whole nother level of competition. It brings out, I know, my competitiveness more, and it makes it more fun. Like, you want to get the crowd into it. It's an entertainment. It is an entertainment business, and I think when you don't have that sixth man, that it's a scrimmage. It's kind of pointless. And so I think if you're not going to allow fans, then yeah, cancel it. But that's also, if I was a senior and they canceled it, that's a whole nother issue. And so it is a difficult decision, and I get it's not easy, but I think if you can't have fans, then there really is no reason to play. So.
Yeah, a little bit maybe more the voice of reason here, but no, I get it. I think absolutely March Madness, that's what it's all about. Like, without the fans in the crowd, I'm not sure that we'd see much of the craziness that we typically see in March, but with so much interaction, I think obviously the NBA taking the pause that they are, I think it's kind of goes to show the importance of all of this. So at the end of the day, you want to take care and be safe with everybody, but as athletes, that's definitely
as a competitor,
what makes it.
Yeah. I think you need the fans, so we'll see.
Well, as of now, Misha says that there will be fans, a limited amount, 150 people from each school get wristbands. The Rockbridge girls basketball team is moving on. Are you happy with that decision that they still get to compete for a title?
I mean, I think so. We got to watch him. We have a cousin on the team, Mary Permis, and so being home and being able to watch her and them continue to play, it was huge and it was a lot of fun. But I think if they can play and they allow those fans, then the Cunningham clan will be rowdy. So I think it'll be all right. 150 is all right. So.
Yeah, I think it's kind of interesting, though, how you decide that number. I think it's kind of interesting. If you're going to let people in, let people in. But 150 is a good amount, and we'll definitely work to get a wristband if that's the case.
Yeah.
I'm sure that you guys, Jill May, will definitely make sure that you guys are two of the people that get the wristbands. Let's see. Just living in Australia, what was that like? What were the differences? Was it something surprise you? Maybe are there koalas just running around, or what's that like?
You can take it.
Well, I did see koalas, but just at a sanctuary. So they're not where we lived. We live more down south, and they're more up north. But obviously the fires this year definitely impacted those little guys. But I think just the day-to-day life, it really was so different. And we absolutely loved it. I feel like my eyes have been opened to a whole other world living there in Australia. The people are just so friendly. The lifestyle is laid back. Australians themselves will say we're lazy, we're laid back, and we fit in just fine. So I think the thing that I took away the most was kind of their approach to work. Their job is what they do from 8 to 5, and come 5 o'clock, like work is done and over, and they go enjoy their evenings. So definitely goes to show there can be a little bit better of a balance there, but we really enjoyed our time, and the people were just phenomenal.
Yeah, just kind of copy everything she said, but I just think the people there reminded us a lot of people back here. Everyone was very friendly, over the top friendly, very chill. We lived 5 minutes from the beach, and so you can't really complain too much. But I will say with those fires, there were a couple of times when I had practice, and you couldn't see the other end of the, like you couldn't see the other basket. And so when you're living in it, you're like, oh, we're okay. But looking back, it was like, we're probably going to get a call in a couple of years. If you lived in the fires of, 2020, you're going to get $1 million. So, like, we're kind of waiting on that call. So, that's what we're waiting on. But it was such a great experience. It was such basketball-wise, it was a great opportunity for me to go there for my first year. And it was beautiful. I'll say if anyone gets the chance to go to Australia, totally take it and enjoy and be chill down there. So.
Well, you started a fund on GoFundMe trying to raise money for that. So what was the result of that, and how were those funds, I guess, helping people out?
Yeah, it was awesome. It really was. And I knew that Mid-Missouri has our back, and people follow us. And so I'm like, people are struggling here, and we're so blessed back home that we don't have to deal with this. And so I wanted to get people involved, and I did. And it helped actually quite a bit. And they're like, why would you do this? You're, American. And I'm like, I want to give. I want to help. And so I did that. But what kind of was bad was I was like, every $3 I make, I'll donate. And by that part of the season, I was making all my buckets of layups, and I couldn't make a 3. But so I still donated, but I kind of jinxed myself or something. But at least I helped the people down there, so it worked out.
Well, Lindsey, I was talking to your mom. She said that you were playing some basketball in Australia too. So is it retired? Are you not? You're getting back in the game?
No. There is so the league that goes opposite the league that Sophie was in. She's in the WNBL, then the NBL 1. So the girls in their off season typically play in that NBL 1 league, and so they were starting their preseason, and the majority of their girls were still playing with WNBL. So her assistant coach is an NBL 1 coach, and asked me to come train with the girls, and I still got to get back in shape, but it was so much fun. I really looked forward to my Tuesday and Thursday practices because it's a tough transition, going from living it every single day and it being your whole life for 20 years, and then all of a sudden one day you hang them up and it's kind of over. So I really enjoyed it. And
she was coming home, oh, rub my feet, rub my back, I'm sore. And I'm like, girl, no, but it was real fun. Yeah. And she still has it. She still has a shot, great passes. So for me, it was still really cool to go and watch her play. So I enjoyed that too. So.
Any chance of you pitching the Mercury getting Lindsey?
I'm trying, but she has to do her part. So we'll see. But she really did. I mean, she could still play if she wanted to, which I think is so cool. She's been out of the game for three years. So to see her still be able to do that, I'm like, girl, go play. Go make some money over there. So we'll see what happens.
Coach P always says it's like riding a bike.
Obviously a disappointment. Coach mentioned several times, so she mentioned you and the fact that you were such a voice and a leader, and it was just kind of too hard to overcome. What's it going to take? Like, obviously there's bright spots with Haley Frank and Asia Blackwell specifically, but what was your kind of take on the season and where they can go from here?
Yeah, being over in Australia, there's a huge time difference, and so it was really hard to watch games. But when we did, we would stay up pretty late, or our parents would stay up late, and we would just be watching it over FaceTime. And so I think we only got to catch like 2 games, and I know it was a disappointing season, but I think there's a lot of things behind the scenes going on. But you know what? I also think that this team has a bright future if they can get those pieces together. And we were over there at Mizzou yesterday just talking, and I'm going to start helping mentor, Haley Frank. And I think she and Asia are really bright stars for Mizzou basketball, and I'm really excited for them. It was a disappointing season, but I think that this community should not lose hope in this team because they have a very good freshman class. They have great people who couldn't play because of transfers this next year. Is going to be really fun, and so I do know that people were a little disappointed in this year, and it's sad. I mean, when you only win 9 games, it's hard. It's a grind. It's not fun. You can't really celebrate because it is hard. But I do think that this next year is going to be bright for Mizzou women's basketball.
Well, I think having 2 all-SEC freshmen on the team is definitely going to propel them, and recruits coming in as well. The WNBA this year, assuming that there's going to be a WNBA this year, it's sad that we have to even say that. you know, I think a lot of Mid-Missourians, even me especially, watching the Mercury play, we're so used to you taking over the game, and we're like, put Sophie in. Why is Sophie not in the game? So I guess, is that you think that'll change this year? And how did you deal with, you know, for the first time in your life, not being, you know, the big player?
Yeah. You know, I think when people are like, oh, she made it, that like, oh, everything's good, you know, but I will say that this last year has probably been the hardest year of basketball for me in my whole life. And I did work to get to where I'm at, but I'm not where I want to be at all. And so it is a blessing. I'm glad that I reached that. But when you have Brittany Griner on your team, you have DeWanna Bonner, you have Diana Taurasi, and just veterans players. And in the Mercury, they like veteran players. And so coming in as a rookie, people were like, oh, well, we were surprised that you even got in. And I'm like, put me in. No, I'm just kidding. But I was like, no, I can play. And so I did have to, you know, be patient and put in work outside. But now I need to know I need to put even in more work. And so I'm actually very motivated. I'm excited for this season. We've gotten a lot of trades and a lot of new people. Skylar Diggins is on the team. Heard she's great. So I really am just so excited. I'm ready to do my part, own my role, and I want to make a name for myself even more. And I think that I'm so used to going in and, you know, like, here we go, but these are the best in the world. And so, like I said, I've learned from them. I'm taking in their advice, and a lot of people have their best seasons when they're 30 years old. I'm 23, and so I'm like, I want it now, but I know I have to be patient. But I really am excited, and I'm so blessed that you guys are keeping up with me. You know, when I did have that 19-point game, so many people reached out, and I'm like, yeah, I'm putting it on for Mid-Missouri. Like, that's really what it was about. It wasn't about me. It was from where I came from, and so it was super exciting to see everyone, you know, always tuning in. So I appreciate that.
So, Lindsey, have you taken on the role of, like, agent here, or
Well,
just,
Yes, she had. No.
No, I haven't. And Sophie's got a great agent that she's working with here, and we're really excited for the things that I think he's going to be able to do for Soph's career. But I'm not sure. I definitely have taken on some form of role. I've got to definitely officially name it. But I think even just all the various things that come her way, scheduling things, kind of just being there as her support. I guess that's just being a sister, but I've taken it to a whole nother level, so I've got to figure out something. But no, it's been really fun, and she kind of touched on it, but I think us being able to be together, especially this first year where she did go through some rough patches that she's just never really experienced. It was kind of hard for me to watch her go through these things, but in the same sense, most people have experienced that kind of adversity at some point in their career. I did in high school, in college, so I'd kind of been through it a bit. So it was really cool that we were able to be there together. Mm-hmm. And everyone says your rookie year is your toughest, so I think the best is yet to come for Soph.
Well, I wanted to ask you about the men's basketball team, too. You were vocal about Parker Brown on social media, getting a little bit more playing time. He played really well. Parker doesn't have social media, so whenever we asked him about it, he didn't even know you were giving him the support. But what do you think, I guess, of just the men's basketball team?
Like I said, you know, we didn't really get to watch, but
Yeah.
I just want to stick up for him. We've been family friends since we've been born. You know, their mom played at Mizzou with our aunt. My mom was running track at the time, and so there's a family connection. We might be gone, but there's still a family connection, and he's a really good kid, and I think if you give him the opportunity, he'll succeed. But you just have to have the right people in your ear, and you know, I probably shouldn't have said that, and I know Konza knows what he's doing, and he's a great coach. But you know, I want to stick up for my little brother too.